From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
It was another dry and very sunny day across mid-Michigan. Notice not much has changed across the area this evening. Satellite and radar still puts us under widespread sunshine across mid-Michigan. Temperature-wise, currently sitting in the mid to low 80s, 85 degrees right now over in Hastings. We're at 83 for our current temperature in Lansing, 82 degrees in St. John's, Mason, and Hillsdale. We will stay dry and clear as we go throughout the overnight hours, allowing temperatures to cool down into the low 50s. And we do have a brief cool down that we have to talk about for the middle of the work week. 6 News at 5:30 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at 5:30.
Right now, 5:30, the latest on a mass shooting and fire at a Michigan church and what we know about the suspect. Plus, the man accused of murdering Charlie Kirk appeared virtually in court today, what his lawyers are asking for. And a Michigan veterinarian says she would do it all over again after getting convicted of stealing a man's dog. Those stories and a lot more and all in the first 6 minutes. Thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Siobhan Klepfer. Let's start that clock. And we are beginning tonight with our continuing coverage of the mass shooting and fire at a church in Genesee County that happened on Sunday. The FBI, along with state and local officials, held a news conference today on the killings at a Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints church in Grand Blanc Township. They say 40-year-old Thomas Sanford drove a pickup truck into the church, got out, and began shooting at people during a Sunday morning service. He's also accused of setting the church on fire. 4 people were killed and at least 8 are injured.
Our special agents, victim specialists, child advocate forensic interviewers, and local partners have interviewed over 100 victims and witnesses to date and are continuing to interview individuals as we speak.
Police say everyone is accounted for. They say Sanford died in a gunfight at the scene with police. Military officials say Sanford was a former Marine who served in Iraq. Well, moving now to North Carolina, where police say a man pulled up to a dock on a boat Saturday night armed with an assault rifle and opened fire on diners at a restaurant. 3 people were killed and 5 others injured in what's being described as a premeditated attack. The suspect is 40-year-old Nigel Edge. Records show he was a deported Marine, decorated Marine combat veteran and Purple Heart recipient, and may have suffered from PTSD.
Folks deserve to be and feel safe in their towns, whether they're enjoying a dinner or praying in church or coming home from work. We must do better to keep people safe.
Officials say Edge used the boat to leave the scene after the attack but was later arrested. Edge did not enter a plea in court today and is being held without bond. Staying in North Carolina, workers at Charlotte Douglas International Airport found a body of a suspected stowaway in the landing gear compartment of a passenger jet. It happened on Sunday. The American Airlines flight recently arrived from Europe. The airline and police have not said who the person might have been, how they died, or exactly where the flight came from. Experts say about 3/4 of stowaways do not survive if they hide under a plane because of the extreme cold and lack of oxygen. In Ann Arbor, an employee at C.S. Mott Children's Hospital was trapped in an elevator when it broke down about 30 feet below the 8th floor. The elevator's service brakes locked and it could not be lowered, so firefighters rescued the employee by rope on Sunday. The elevator does not stop between the 4th and 8th floors, so opening the door was not an option. There were no injuries reported. A jury has convicted a veterinarian of stealing a homeless man's dog in Grand Rapids. Prosecutors accused Amanda Hergen-Redder of misdemeanor larceny after she took the dog in November. The dog's owner, Chris Hamilton, left the dog tied to a truck behind a business. Now, the vet saw the dog and took him back to her clinic near Frankenmuth, where she treated it for numerous medical issues and refused to return him to Hamilton. She told jurors she would do it again in a heartbeat. She could be sentenced to up to 93 days in jail and have to pay a fine. Tyler Robinson, the 22-year-old man accused of killing conservative activist Charlie Kirk earlier this month, made a remote appearance in a Utah courtroom today. Robinson's attorneys told the judge they want to go ahead with a preliminary hearing, which is when the judge determines if there's enough evidence to warrant a trial. Well, prosecutors say there's so much evidence to go through that they won't be ready for that hearing in the near future. Robinson is charged with aggravated murder and faces the death penalty if convicted. And overseas, Russia launched a major drone and missile attack on Ukraine on Sunday, killing at least 4 people, one of them a 12-year-old girl, and 70 people were wounded. Ukraine's Air Force reports 595 drones and 48 missiles were fired, but most of them were intercepted. Electronic Arts is set to be acquired in what financial analysts say could be the largest ever buyout funded by private equity firms. EA, which makes video games like Battlefield, Madden NFL, and The Sims, is expected to be bought for $52.5 billion, and that jumps to $55 billion if the company's debt is also purchased. EA shareholders still need to approve the deal. Well, back here in Michigan, a once popular ski resort is getting a second chance thanks to a successful fundraising effort. 25 years after closing, the land on Sugarloaf Mountain is one step closer to reopening to the public. The Leelanau Conservancy raised $8 million through donations, and the current anonymous owner of the land will transfer it to the nonprofit, they said in a news release. Plans call for a publicly accessible trail network for hiking, biking, snowshoeing, cross-country skiing, and more. In Tennessee, there's a new statue honoring the queen of rock and roll, Tina Turner. Take a look. It was unveiled in her hometown of Brownsville on Saturday. The 7-foot-tall statue sits across the street from Turner's old high school. The Ford Motor Company, which has a facility in the area, provided $150,000 for the statue. Turner died in 2023 at the age of 83. Time show in February. He's just coming off of a Puerto Rican residency on top of already having 3 Grammys and 12 Latin Grammys. Last year, Kendrick Lamar and Guest SZA set the record for the most watched Super Bowl halftime show with more than 133 million viewers. And pulling our first 6 minutes of news to an end, a popular Egyptian wrestler reportedly pulled a 700-ton ship with a rope that he held in his teeth, a distance of about 15 meters. He told reporters it's a world record, although Guinness has yet to weigh in. The previous record for this kind of stunt is 614 tons. He says, Kendall, he stays strong by eating at least a dozen eggs, 2 whole chickens, and 11 pounds of fish every day, and training for 2 hours 3 times a day.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
I wouldn't think that your teeth would be able to withstand that kind of force there.
Practice makes perfect? I don't know.
I mean, clearly they had video of him in the gym doing exercises. So.
But what do you do for your teeth? Like, how do you?
Is that where the dozen eggs come in? I don't know.
Maybe, Kendall.
I don't know.
Wow.
Well, I do know something about the weather that we have coming our way, Siobhan. It is absolutely perfect.
Oh my goodness. It's just weird. It just feels weird this time of the year. It does.
Yeah, and it's going to keep staying weird.
Okay.